into the Toyota Losers Lounge once again. I have no idea what's happening. We're powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. The podcast putting in as much effort as the Avs did. Clearly. I don't know what to tell you if you're watching this show. There's no big breakdown. There's no big complicated conversation about tonight. The Avs sucked.
Yeah, they just got the shit kicked out of them.
Yep. It wasn't close. The Avs weren't any good. Dallas was much better. And the score reflects that. It's all there really is to this hockey game.
This is why you don't lose games in which you outplay the other team.
Yep. And yet, here we are. The Avs are down 3-1 in the series.
Yep.
I don't even think there's a point in doing a 60-second rundown, honestly, because that's the conversation is the Avs were terrible. That's it. That encompasses the entire hockey game for Colorado.
I agree.
And, we have a podcast to do, so we'll get into some of the details of how exactly they were terrible, but boy, there's not a lot worth really dwelling on from this hockey game if I'm Colorado. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's done, man.
Yep.
We'll get to it.
Look, a pretty critical game. The reality of this situation is it starts with your stars. It starts with your best hockey players, and they were terrible. They weren't not just it was the stars who didn't have their best night. They were bad, and not just Mikko Rantanen, who was bad. Don't get me wrong, Mikko is on the top of that pile, but you didn't get nearly enough out of Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar tonight.
Rudo, his game score was the highest.
Fucking game score. I don't care. Like at the end of the day.
Yeah, is that what you're gonna look for a good thing? You wanna know why after last game I was like, look, this process is good. This is encouraging. This is something that you can buy into. And if your response was, well, I don't care about process, well, this is what you get when the team says I don't care about process.
Yep.
They get the shit kicked out of them. You gotta have process. You gotta show up to work. You gotta bring the lunch pail. You gotta execute. You gotta have some fucking heart. You have to give a shit about what's going on around you. You have to show up to the fight.
Yep.
They just didn't bother tonight. At any point tonight, they never bothered to show up. It was embarrassing.
Yep.
It's embarrassing. There's no other word for it. It's embarrassing. You don't even bother to. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's round 2. You have some of the best players in the world. You live and die with those guys. Apparently my voice does too. It's a joke, man. It's honestly, it's incredibly disappointing because we have seen these guys be very resilient in their careers.
Yep.
They have fought back. They fought back from a 3-1 series deficit against Dallas when they had Michael Hutchinson in net. That was a team with some heart.
Yep.
That was a team that had a little bit of character. Series isn't over, so they could still show up and do that. But for it to go the way that it has, it feels brutally bad. It's embarrassing. I really, truly don't know what else to say. I wasn't expecting them to go out this way, for the series to look like this, for them to play this way. These guys have accomplished some incredible things in their careers that nobody can ever take away from them. And usually that instills a certain chutzpah. And instead, you see this. Last year, they were desperate for help.
Yeah.
Desperate for help. They were Colorado's only good players. And this year, for the second straight season, you have not gotten a good series out of Cale Makar.
Yep.
And Nathan MacKinnon and Mikko Rantanen have nowhere near the desperation that we saw those two playing with last year. It's embarrassing. Those guys set the tone. And when their tone is, we don't give a flying fuck, then this is what your response is as a team.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Those guys have A's on their chest. They set the tone.
Yep.
And that's everything. That's everything. I just rant over. I don't have anything else to say. They were embarrassing.
Well, I agree with everything you're saying. So I'm not going to argue you. Listen, I'll start with this. As I'm watching highlights there of Carolina's give a shit meter was a little bit better, right? Last couple games, and they believed in their process, even though they were down by three games, right? They give a shit meter was high, and now they're back there in a series, right? Now the pressure is on the Rangers, right? Even though they are up 3-2. I'm not saying this series is over. I'm not. I can't get myself to say that this series is over for all the reasons that I've been saying.
I don't think it's over.
No,
by
no,
any
that's what I'm
stretch
saying.
of
No,
the
because
imagination.
I'm
But
not saying no.
It can't look even close to this for the rest of the series.
No, I'm not saying you guys are saying that, or Tiff, or anyone on chat. I can't read. You guys know that. So, but I can read. I can't see. But what I'm saying is, I can't get myself to think that they're gonna show up again like that next game. You see what I'm saying? Like man, I'll live and die with those guys too, and I know Joel Seamack will, and Bednar exactly.
Of course you
But
will.
am I disappointed? I mean, go back, rewind the tape, go to our pregame. That's what we talked about. I said, hey, listen, I got faith in this team because of those three guys. They got the three best players in the world. But I tell you one thing: that first period, I don't care what happened the few hours before. Meaning, there's the Val news, right? Okay, I get it. It's disturbing, right? And B, then you got 25-minute a guy got, the Von Tays that's not there. So then you're like, oh shit, it's another okay. But I would have bet my house that those guys would have come out swinging today and have one of those efforts that, you know what, they're going to grease it out, going to feel good about themselves. They came out so flat. It was embarrassing. I agree with you. I've never seen them play so bad in a long time. And the play of the game is what? It's the first goal. It's the first goal. It takes away all your breath, and it's your three best players that are absolute dog shit on the play. Starting with Kale, my favorite player in the world. Awful play. They weren't ready to play. Next thing you know, you're chasing the game again. Now it's 1-0. Now Dallas has swag. They're in their building, meaning the Avs building. If they freaking win the game, they go up and take a 3-1 freaking series. So all of a sudden now, everyone's blocking shots. Everyone's working. At the end of the day, I don't care how good you are. And I know they would say, well, we were trying, we were working. No, they weren't trying, they weren't working. I saw a lot of bad body language. I saw a lot of bad, frustration. And then I saw some push a little bit in the third or whatever it was, but by that time it's too late. And now you got to go back and say, hey, first of all, you got to have fun playing this game, right? They look like a bunch of freaking tight guys. It was 1-1 in the series. I don't know what to tell you. All of a sudden, it just went sideways. And today was one of those sideways afternoons or whatever you want to call that. 2 hours before puck drop, it went sideways. But once the puck dropped, it's no excuse. There's nothing there. I don't mind, like you said. I know you said it. One of you two guys said, I don't mind losing. But oh my God, buddy, put up a fucking fight.
It's a good hockey team, but when you
They're
don't even
good,
bother to show up to the fight,
that's
man,
my
and use
point,
it as a default loss.
And I'll give credit to
Fucking
Dallas. They played
embarrassing.
great. I just said I'm giving flowers to Dallas. But man,
It's a whole lot of words, and you covered it in your first 10, man.
That's
You
it.
win and lose with those guys.
That's it.
If they play like that, guess what? You lose. That's it.
Fair or not, but we've been privileged. We've been all year long, and you guys have been doing it for years now. Me being new this year, it's a privilege to see those guys night in and night out. But you got to call a spade a spade. The last few it hasn't been good enough. It hasn't.
No,
And you can blame everybody, everything you want.
your best players have one goal in the last 3 games.
They will carry you. And to me, it's just not smart, not very hardworking. It's stuff that looked lost, looked like it wasn't tied in together. It just looked like all over the place, like individuals. I haven't seen that too much from those guys, and that's why I'm a little perplexed, and I know other people are. But on top of it, do I think that they can get it together? Yes, I do think that. But
Sure. If you believe in anyone to get it together one game later, it's guys at that caliber.
But now your margin of error is this thin now against a good team.
Yep.
Against a bad team or a U12 team, sure. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You're playing against a freaking good team for this thing here. I saw a team tonight that had some desperation and that wanted that, and the other team didn't want it.
Yeah, the team with the series leads smelled blood in the water,
That's
and they
it.
went hunting, and they whooped that ass.
I don't know what
That's
else
all there
to
is
say.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all there is to it.
Yep.
The Avs physically showed up tonight and got the shit kicked out of them, and now they have to get on a plane to go to Dallas and try and save their season.
Yep.
I mean,
But you better be perfect.
yeah, you get what you earn in that case, because they let it slip away in Game 3 where they did not capitalize on the opportunities they had to jump on that game when they were playing well.
Yep.
They take the L, and then they come out tonight and just get the shit kicked out of them. That's all there is.
And process-wise, it becomes incredibly frustrating because, look, let's be real. The first period is probably one of the worst process periods of the season for the Avs. They get outshot 17-2.
What a joke, dude.
Buddy.
Wyatt Johnston was doubling up the team's shots at one point in the second period.
Yep.
Halfway through the game, he had 8 shots on goal, and the Avs had 4.
He was flying.
It's ridiculous.
He was like on top
Well,
of
and
everything.
what is his first goal? What is it? It's nothing special.
Hard work.
He just works. He outworks Kale, and he goes to the net, and he works and works and works, and he gets that third opportunity. Hilarious that there were 3 on a shorthanded situation.
Again.
He just works. That's all it is,
was
man.
it last game, the shorty again? So that's 2 shorties in a game, right? I mean, they kill you.
It's a joke.
They kill you.
And you had not played a good first period if you're the Avs up to that point. You get to this power play, which feels like a gift, an opportunity to get yourself in a lead in a period you haven't been any good, and you come away from it down 1. You don't even get a shot on goal on that power play. You get outchanced 4-0 on your own power play.
In the game, you end up getting outshot on a power play 4-1
on your own
and you're
power play.
outscored 1-0 on your own power play.
Yep.
You had 2 power plays. You got outshot 4-1 and outscored 1-0. We may not even need to talk about the rest of the game and just say that is it.
Special teams alone lost you this
That
fucking game.
is it.
Yep.
Didn't even need to play 5v5. That's it.
And just so you know, when you're
What
on
a
that
joke.
bench and you got a 20-year-old, because he is 20, he'll be 21 tomorrow, but you got a 20-year-old beating 3 of the best players in the world, single-handedly beating the 3 of the best on that play. Beats Kale, he beats Mikko, he beats Mac. You know what that does when you go back to the bench? And now you're on 1-0 on the road, and you know what I mean? Like where you're thinking, oh my God, you know, their power play is so deadly, might be down 1-0. No, instead he scores a shorty. That just totally just kills the whole period. And then you get on your bench, and then your team is so pumped.
Well,
and then they never look back. They never did.
You were already getting thoroughly outworked, and it was like, okay, this sets up to be one of those classic hockey things. You're getting outshot 9-2. You get a power play.
Go get a goal. They win the period they
you
didn't deserve to
you
win.
get up 1-0.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, we don't really deserve this, but here we are.
Buddy.
It's exactly what
In period 1 of Game 3.
It's
Yeah.
exactly what Game 3 was this team is getting outplayed pretty badly, but doesn't deserve to be on top on the scoreboard. But that's what happens when you execute, when you capitalize on your chances. And it's the story of the series. Dallas has capitalized and Colorado has not.
Yep.
And then in this case, Colorado didn't even bother to create any chances. They just weren't any good. They just weren't any good.
Oh, I'm shocked. I am. I keep saying it, but I'm shocked.
It's really disappointing.
Yep. For sure.
I mean, unless there's things we don't know. Is there a virus and a bunch of guys are sick? I don't
I
freaking
don't
know.
None of
I
that
don't
matters
give
to
a
me,
shit.
man.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, it's not, I'm shocked. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
it's not normal. Like, it's not normal.
Yeah.
Not for this. It's not.
Tell you what is normal. Being able to drive around the city in your Toyota makes your life a whole lot easier when you have a good car to drive in instead of the beater the Avs were driving tonight.
Oof.
So
My
make sure
Chevy
you
Chevette.
That's what it felt like. Make sure you go get yourself a Toyota and use that QR code on screen. Enter for a chance to win playoff tickets. As bad as this game was, if the Avs win one more game, guess what? There'll be another game in Ball Arena. So all it takes is one bounce back game, and you could go see yourself a playoff game, a potential elimination game when it comes to the Avs. Go enter for your chance to win at the QR code right there on screen with Toyota. Of course, they're giving away tickets for the Strive for 16 because despite tonight, it does take 16 wins to win the Cup. Dallas hasn't closed out this series yet. So go check it out with Toyota. Of course, go visit your local Toyota dealerships, whichever one may be closest to you. Go check them out at locations that include AutoNotion Toyota in Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche and the official vehicle of DNVR. And then once you got your Toyota, maybe you want to get the hell out of here and get to Vegas to blow off some steam. Make sure you're hitting up Circuit, casinos, and resorts. Go take the playoff plunge with them, or maybe the playoffs are over plunge, if that's how you feel about things and you want to get away.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well played.
It works. It works. Use code DNVR20 at circasports.com to get 20% off your stay in Circa, whether it's to get away or maybe you want to come to the NHL draft with us at the Sphere. Great place to stay if
That'll
you're
be
heading
fun.
out there for that. It will be fun.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that with our stay at Circa. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. I know we focused in on that power play, but ultimately the Avs go -2 on special teams again. It's hard for me to fault Caleb Jones because at 10 a.m. this morning, he didn't even think he was playing in this game. But 2 penalties, pretty rough around the edges. Taves is what it is. Maybe he'll be back for game 5. If he's not, Sam Malinsky season.
I would do it.
Yeah.
You have scored 2 goals in 2 games. You need somebody with a little bit of offensive flair.
Sure.
Caleb Jones just isn't going to give you any of that. And what has he done defensively that's so good that you need to keep in the lineup?
Not much.
He's taken... he took 2 penalties.
Yep.
I mean, you just... It's desperation time. Which roster truly gives you the best opportunity to win?
Yep.
Give me the guy that might be a little weaker on defense who might give you something on offense on the other end.
You have 2 goals in your last 120 minutes of hockey.
Yeah,
I mean,
straight up.
You need more than that. Don't think it's that complicated. Look, I know we come down on the Stars hardest because they're the most important players of the team, but let's not kid ourselves. The entire team was terrible tonight.
Oh, absolutely. But it starts with your
course,
I mean,
yeah.
again, it starts at the top. I mean, that's just, it's any business, it's any facts of life.
How many pucks did Cale Makar fire right into the first guy tonight?
I mean, Kale, I love him. He started wrong. Remember, he loses it was Marchment,
Yep.
like all of a sudden goes on a breakaway. I mean, he wasn't there. It's rare I say that. That's why I'm saying I'm shocked. Like I would have said those 3 guys will have career games tonight. Which,
I mean, they kind of did in a sense.
well, but it was the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. And again, I still have belief in them? Absolutely. Again, I'm not trying to steal freaking Ted Lasso, but you got to believe. You got to believe till it's over. Until then, it's a privilege to play for that thing. I do believe that. Again, I'll put my money again on it. They'll be better. I'm talking about those 3 guys. Like you said, not just those 3 guys. It's a team thing. I get it. But if those 3 don't play, you're not going to win. That's just the way it is. It's life.
And here's my problem with this. I think you could make an argument that the Avs' best forward tonight was Jonathan Drouin. Not that he was particularly amazing.
But I liked his giddy up. I liked it. He was excited,
11 dudes just let a guy who's been out for 2 weeks be the best player in the game tonight.
I agree with your take.
Where's the motor?
That's right.
I don't know. It wasn't in this hockey game, that's for sure.
Yep.
And the frustration is, where is it? Because, okay, you had a terrible first period, right? You get absolutely dominated. You have a terrible power play. You're still down 1-0. You show up for the second period, and this is a hockey game, and you once again just fail to get the engine started in that period. I don't know how to fix that other than the players just have to be better.
Well, I agree with that take because as bad as it was, you were one shot away.
Yeah.
One tip, one fluky thing, like one whatever to be tied in a hockey game in the playoffs. And you're going to have sequences in a game where you don't have it. Okay,
Sure.
let's say it was
They
the
can't
longest.
last
Let's
50
say
minutes,
that's what I'm saying.
though.
Okay, it lasted 20 minutes, which is rare because if you look at that series, they've been pretty good, just like in the what do you call that? The Winnipeg series, right?
Yep.
But the other teams are good as well. So you might lose a 5 minute here and there. It's rare. Again, they look dog shit for 20 minutes. Okay, fine. You're only down 1-0. That's what you got to take out of it. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's be ready to go. It didn't get better.
Yep.
It didn't. You got to be honest. Like, it didn't get better. And that's where I'm shocked.
And so you're down 2-0 because you take a penalty from Caleb Jones. Okay, whatever. Dallas is a good team. You gave them a chance, and they capitalized. Fine.
Sure.
At 2-0, it's not good, but you're saying, you know what? You get the next one. It's a 1-goal game again, maybe.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear about this because people are going to get mad. I am in no way putting this game on Alexander Georgiev. This is entirely on the team that played like shit in front of him. But that third goal hits him in the shoulder and still goes in the net.
Yeah, I mean, it continues to. He was great.
Yeah.
Guy was great.
He gave
And
the Avs a
then-
chance that the Avs didn't take, but that's still a bad goal.
Yeah, and he gives up one of these long distance goals seemingly every night.
Yep.
I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why he can't stop those. I don't know why those consistently get scored on him. They did last year too.
Yep.
It's not like, oh, this is just this is a consistent thing. It's been happening forever. Are we going to make a big deal over the third goal in a 5-1 loss?
No.
Give me a break. He was great before that moment.
He was. The other, I guess if you don't count the backup goalie, the other 17 dudes, not so good. Or 18 dudes. Yeah, 18. I can count numbers.
Which is probably a good sign in the sense that, okay, you're in the playoffs. You're going to put a stinker again as an individual? So you got, like you just said, 17 guys that probably didn't play their best game. And Jonathan Drouin, as good as he was, in a sense, he's probably going to be better because, you know what I mean? Like, all right, he's got one game underneath him now. Maybe he'll be better. So that's the good thing. You got 17 guys, or put 18 guys, that can have a better game. Forget about the goalies, the two goalies dress, you know? You got 18 guys that can have a better game. And that's where, again, you put your nuts on the line, you put your pride on the line, you put your effort on the line and see what happens. But your margin is this big, so then there's no more like stupidities, there's no more gifts, there's no more bad penalties, there's no more, shorthanded goals against. There's no more there's no more, oh, I almost scored. No, you got to score. You know what I mean? There's no, your margin is, can they do it? Yes. Do they have the team to do it? Yes, they've done it game in and game out, and they've won 2 years ago, and they can do it. But we'll see what happens. I mean, there's all you can do is just let's see what happens. That's it. I mean, there's nothing more to it.
Yeah.
Right?
I know we kind of already touched on it, but to wrap around and reinforce this point, in your last 3 games, your special teams are -5.
What a joke, dude.
That's why remember we're like, it's playoffs. It's the most important aspect of a game for momentum, for getting yourselves in the game, getting yourself away in the game.
It's so hard to score goals.
Yep.
It's so hard to score goals.
But-
You can't get any of the ones on power plays, and now you're actively giving them up when you have the man advantage.
Disastrous.
It's one thing when your PK's giving goals up, which it has in more games than not this postseason.
Yep.
And now your power play is also giving up goals.
Hey, listen.
What a joke, dude.
Guys, I am an X's and
It's
O's
a joke.
guy. I always have been. Okay, I'm an X's and O's guy. I love it. Like I was one of those guys that enjoyed it. Enjoyed having conversations with the assistant coaches or video guys or with the board out. I love it. I am an X's and O's guy. But I can't, first of all, not give credit to Dallas. Give him credit because
Dallas was
okay.
objectively the better
Perfect.
team in every aspect
but I'm
of this
talking
game.
about like
there is no doubt about that.
I'm talking about special teams. Huh? So the PK or the PP, I'm giving credit to Dallas. With that said, X's and O's go out the window after a while, and everything goes out the window because you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, and this is so stupid what I'm going to say, but it's so simple. Are we the hardest working unit, either us or the PK, or vice versa? And the answer is they failed at both special teams. PP or PK, they are not the hardest working guy. You do that, then talk to me about X's and O's after. What the people that you have on those units, if you are the hardest working people, you will have success. And that's where I'm perplexed because the answer is they haven't been the hardest working people. So forget about the X's and O's. Like, Oh, you got to make adjustments. My God, guys.
I'm
listen.
with you.
And
No
don't
amount
get,
of
like,
coaching work can make your
stop.
players care.
You got to go like this. Bring your heart in.
The two shorthanded goals
Stop.
are just
It's
Mikko Rantanen's
atrocious.
AFK, dude. He's
it's
AFK.
atrocious.
Kale McCarr, awful. Nathan MacKinnon, awful. Mikko Rantanen, awful.
It's not
I'm
good.
not even going to single any of them out. They're all bad.
Is Jared Bednar going to go to Cale Makar and say, just handle the puck better? And he's going to go, oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey,
like-
Kale, buddy. We really need you to not do that, fella. Oh, shit, coach. You know what, man? That's a...
But those
I'm glad
guys
you told
know,
me that.
But those guys know it.
Of course they know it.
They know it. You know what I mean? And that's
They've
why I'm
walked
like,
the walk.
exactly, because they know what it takes.
And that's why this is disappointing. If this was
It is.
the San Jose Sharks, you'd be going, oh,
Yeah,
this shit
Greg.
again?
The nerves got to them, right? Nerves got to them. If it was the San Jose Sharks, right? Oh, nerves got to. Not those guys. Come on, man.
I'd
They can
like
be better.
to see some nerves. At least that would be some level of emotion.
Well,
Such
yeah.
a bummer,
You're right.
man.
I agree. Like, it's a bummer.
Yep.
Just be the freaking hardest working guy out there. Don't worry about the rest.
Let us be the bummers. I don't want the Avs to be the bummers. We
Yeah,
can be the
after
bummers.
losses, apparently you and I are the bummer. So
Tough luck, buddy.
Well, I mean, I've been as bummed as I can be. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
I've
no,
never,
you're in the clear, buddy. You're a real fan.
No. I just said I'm shocked. Like,
you know
that
what you're
my-
talking about. We're just here.
Oh, sorry. Well, no, the other guy earlier said I was annoying, so it's fine.
Yeah, you can't please everybody.
Can't
for
win
sure.
them all, right?
We say
Unless
the
you're
Avs
Dallas.
play pretty good after a loss, we get burned. We say the Avs were terrible after a loss, we get burned. Nothing you could do.
think-
What you can do is at least make money on the game, even if the Avs suck. Go get with Underdog Fantasy, the easiest way to play fantasy hockey and basketball and whatever else you're getting in on. Get in on their pick'em games. If you go tonight, if you win on the Avs, guess what? If you picked the Avs to have under half a power play goal, or lower rather, a power play goal, you'd have hit your pick'em on Underdog Fantasy. Tons of other picks too. Shoo, I bet you can make a ton of money picking higher on Wyatt Johnston stats.
That guy rules.
Easy higher picks over at Underdog Fantasy. when it
Everybody
comes-
rolled their eyes at me last year when I was like, that guy's awesome. Watch out for that guy.
He just looks slimy and, you know what I mean? Like, that's why, you know, and then all of a sudden, like, wow, is he good?
Yeah, he's got skills.
No, playing
Awesome.
everybody in the series.
He's been awesome.
That guy rules.
Fun to watch, unlike the Avs tonight. Maybe you want to go look at other hockey games. You want some more fun looking at other non-Avalanche related playoff hockey games? Underdog Pick'ems. They also have fantasy drafts. If you want to pick a handful of players and do that classic fantasy style hockey, of course, as I mentioned, if you're totally out on the Avs and a believer in the Nuggets, you can go do Pick'ems on the Nuggets then. Whatever you do with fantasy, do it with Underdog Fantasy and use promo code DNVR to get a great first deposit offer as well as instant pick'em specials in your lobby. That's Underdog Fantasy code DNVR. You can scan that QR code that was just on screen or click the link in the description to sign up today. Of course, you must be 18 or older, physically present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates, and of course, terms apply. And if you're concerned with play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit npcgambling.org. And once you've made your money with fantasy, Tiff, how many dialed-in gummies are you going to take after that loss?
Well, so the Smells Like Teen Spirit ones, the ones that are based off of the Avs, are indicas. So to go to bed, yes, I'm going to take like probably 2.
There you go.
20 milligrams each.
Jesus.
They taste, it's passion fruit and sangria is I think what the Avs flavors are.
Yep.
But
Is that what that
phenomenal.
is?
Delicious. Yes.
That was true.
I put a little one on set.
Yeah, you can't really see it, but little dialed-in gummies right there. Don't necessarily recommend the Avs to take those. It looked like they might have.
They might
before
have
this game.
they
gonna
might have been
say.
like weed hungover this morning or today.
But
That's what Taves was sick with. Obviously, I'm kidding. Seriously, obviously, I'm kidding.
he goes to bed and Coach, I'm too dialed in. But if you need to come down from the game and chill a little bit, go check out that Smells Like Team Spirit option for the Avs. Over 2,500 different batches from Dialed In Gummies. Go check out yours. You can find them at your local dispensary or of course, go to dialedingummies.com today to go get yourself some to relax a little bit. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. I look top to bottom. I'm trying to find positives from this hockey game.
Yeah, it's over.
That is one of the positives.
And for the last time, maybe the last time this season, we get to say, hey, tomorrow's another day to
go out and be better.
Exactly. Potentially get better than you were yesterday. And that's it.
Casey Middlestat scored a goal.
It was a cool play.
He was also terrible on the fourth goal the Avs gave up.
Yeah.
So.
Can't sleep for half a second in this league. Maybe the Avs take a page out of the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm saying, like, all of a sudden they go to MSG, one of the toughest games, and they're down 3-1 in the series, and they're down 1-0 in the third. What do they do? Score 4. Stay alive. I mean, you just got to throw the book out the window next game, and you just got to go and freaking play your heart out.
Yeah.
Just go play your heart out. Whatever happens, happens. But I sincerely believe if they play their heart out from the top player in the lineup to the last player in the lineup, they can win this thing. One freaking shift at a time. You can't look at the big picture. You got to go win each shift. You got to go which. You got to go win each 5-minute increments. You got to go win each period. And if you do that and you win each assignment, it's the stupidest thing to do, but that's the only way to approach it. But you do have it. You do have the elements to make it happen, but the elements have to play.
I mean,
if they don't play, then you have no chance.
Look, if you can't get up for this game, there's no more pressure on you to get up than potential elimination, right?
Then it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. What are you going to do? So.
If they don't get up for that, okay, you suck. Dallas was the better team. Season's over. That's it.
And what it is it's such a thin margin that you leave it out to a freaking bad bounce next game, and so be it. But you can have some regrets the rest of the summer. Be pissed at yourself for those last couple games. You know what I mean? But right now, you got to look forward. You can't look at that. You can just go and create your shit and see what happens.
Look, if you want reason to believe, the Avs still haven't had a lead for a single second of this series.
Buddy, we're at freaking 5 games.
That's a joke, dude.
This is the 5th game next game.
And AJ's right. Through those 4 games, it's a joke. If they can figure out how to play some hockey and get some leads, maybe they have a chance still.
1 second.
Not 1 second.
Can we get rid of some of these people? It's fine.
Can I read them, though?
You don't want to read them, buddy.
No, please. I get hyped up.
It's just rough out there.
I miss it, though.
It's for the best. Look, I really don't know what else to tell you about this game. The Avs weren't any good.
It's really not. This is the easiest game of the series to distill down into.
There's
one
no,
sentence.
well, if they done this, that, or the other, they sucked.
There's no major moment that was a game-changing play that we could say, oh, if this had gone differently or that had gone differently. No. They got their shit kicked tonight. That's it.
Yep. So, I don't have a ton else to add there. Okay.
We just got a super chat that was super not fucking okay.
I didn't see it.
No,
so
obviously you didn't see it, but I saw it, and you are a regular in this chat, and you are gonna get fucking banned. You do not make jokes about sending people to die for their drug addiction. That's not fucking okay. You guys need to fucking chill.
Yeah. The Nichushkin stuff we'll talk about a lot more tomorrow, but
Yep.
However you feel about your sports fandom, remember that there's a person going through something pretty awful right now.
Yep.
And if you can't keep that in mind and all you give a shit about is how much money he makes or what sport he plays or what team he plays for that causes you to give a shit about them, go to therapy. You need help. You need to have some compassion for a human being. I'm not saying you have to forgive the guy. I'm not saying that you have to say it's okay. I'm saying there's a human being going through something bad. And if you can't get yourself to care about that and you want to make weird jokes about any of this, it's just not okay. We're just not going to be the place for you. I'm sure it's the internet. I'm sure there is a place where all that is welcome. If that makes us soft, that makes us soft. Not everybody is for everybody.
Wouldn't be the first person to call me soft, so.
We get called soft every week.
I'm laughing at Rudo, not at AJ's comments.
Again, as AJ mentioned, we'll talk about all of that stuff tomorrow's show on an off day. I don't think it'll be a fun conversation, but it'll be a conversation. Anyway, for this game, if you want something the Avs can do better, just point at anything. Guess what? The Avs can do it better.
Just point at anything is a good way to put it. There was not one phase of their game that went well.
Yep. That's it. That was the whole game. We'll keep this one fairly short. Do have some more things I want to talk about, but before we get to those things, we are brought to you by Red Hawk Roofing. I was hoping that the Avs would blow the roof off Ball Arena tonight. That did not happen.
Kind of looked like the roof caved in instead.
That's true. So either way, get Red Hawk Roofing out to your house. They'll give you a free inspection. Costs you nothing for them to go on your roof, check it out. They'll take pictures. They'll make sure everything is all good. Or if it's not all good, they'll let you know that something is wrong, and then they can get it all fixed up for you. And they even have 24/7 availability. So if something does happen in the middle of the night, something crazy goes on, Red Hawk Roofing can get you all patched up and be good to go. Give them a call, or rather go to redhawkroofing.com today. They're a Colorado local company just like us. So go support local. Make sure your roof is doing good. We're also brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer, or craft beer rather, of DNVR. Go get yourself some. I don't know. Games like that definitely make me want to drink. I'll tell you that much. Breck Brew has a flavor for everybody, dozens of flavors to choose from, including seasonals. They've got a new summer beer coming out very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And find Breck Beer online. Use the Breck Brew beer locator at breckbrew.com to find it at a liquor store near you anywhere in the United States. Alrighty. We had some super chats to get to, and then we'll talk about actually some cool stuff that we're doing. $2 from Craven, who says bad. Yeah, that could have been the whole show.
Super
that
bad.
one super chat.
I mean,
Super bad.
maybe when I write my piece tonight,
It'll just say bad.
under studs, I'll just say nobody, and then it'll just say bad.
$20, extremely generous from Greg. Boy, that sucked, but glad you guys are here to lead the commiseration. I got to tell you, I love you guys. I love this job. This was not a fun podcast.
No.
Tomorrow's not going to be fun either.
You're not. Tomorrow's probably going to be a lot less fun, actually. But
Yeah, you never want to talk about what Val Nichushkin's going through right now.
yep. $2 from the Schick, who says vibes, sad, but still Avs in 7. Maybe.
I'm with it.
Can't be in 6.
I'm here to try.
Yeah, no handshakes for Enrique. The guy's just cursed.
This season would be destined to have the Game 7 civil war at the DNVR bar. We'll see.
God.
$10 from Mike, who says, the worst for me is how good this team looks on paper when healthy. They assembled a really solid team post-trade deadline all the way down the lineup. Just tragic. We can't ever see it full strength. Yep, it sucks.
Yep. I mean, when Logan O'Connor got hurt,
Yep.
it started it.
Yep.
And you can't even, I don't know. It's hard. I want to know what they've got in the water in Dallas, because those guys never have serious injuries to deal with. And if you say Yanni Hakanpää, we're fighting.
No, but tonight they lost maybe Tanev and Hintz, so who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but they'll go back to Dallas.
Oh, it'll be
They'll
fine.
put them into the whatever's in the water. They will heal. They know the fountain. They'll heal, and it'll be all good, man.
Plus, you want them all there anyway. You want to beat their best.
Of course,
It's all
you're
good.
not. You're never rooting for an injury, but it is frustrating that it feels like for the second straight year, Colorado is the team. And honestly, what is this? 4 of the last 5 that Colorado is the team that is just hemorrhaging players.
Yeah.
On one hand, that's the playoffs, but it is frustrating.
To like crazy stuff too. Not even talking about the Val thing. Like Devon Taves is so sick that he can't play.
Well, and like Gabe, their captain and Gabe Landeskog may never play again because he has some super random cartilage injury that he suffered on a fluke skate cut.
Yeah.
What the hell are we talking about, man?
$5
Anyway,
from
that Stanley Cup was cool.
It was cool. That Stanley Cup is forever. $5 from Wilson, who says, even if Avs come back in Game 5, we need to do some soul searching this offseason and figure out who's rowing with the boat and who's rowing against it. Got it. I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot of complicated soul searching that needs to be done. You just look at games like tonight and go, that's just not good enough. You're not going to change up the Avs core that they won a Stanley Cup with because they played a bad game or even a bad series.
I guess we'll save that for the offseason, but that's the other aspect of this. All this accountability. Oh, you got to make changes. There are deep issues with the team. I mean,
This is not the Toronto Maple Leafs. They won a Stanley Cup 2 years ago.
well, and it's just like no team makes a dramatic overhaul of their club. It takes time to do that.
Yep.
But you also don't do it when you have some of the best players in the league.
Unless you would.
You just kind of live with those guys and keep running it back. It might seem crazy, but
Unless
what
you
are
wanna
you really going to do?
blow up your window like some people seem to believe has already happened, but whatever. Moving on. $5 from the Walrus himself. Super bummed about Val's health. There's no way the situation didn't suck the life out of the room. Hashtag trusting farts. Hashtag Avs shit their pants.
God bless you.
I mean, can I just go ahead? You talk about sucking all the air out of the room or whatever. The Jack Johnson quote says it all.
Yep.
It says it all. He made his decisions. That's all I'm going to say on that. He made his decisions, and they took out his nameplate already.
Yep.
And let me tell you, that is not normal. Logan O'Connor still got a nameplate up in there. He's still hanging around. To have already dropped that nameplate, Jared Bednar's quotes after the game talking about Val was a priority, our team's a priority. Those are now separate. We're going to get into this tomorrow, but it says it all. And yeah, to have that happen an hour before puck drop, and then the Devon Taves stuff after Taves was in morning skate, we're not using any of this as an excuse because it's not. It's what happened on the ice tonight was unacceptable from a hockey standpoint. But that had to be a gut punch. It just had to be.
100%.
Be careful, Jack. Twitter might be coming for you.
Get canceled, son.
Saying Val made a decision. Twitter didn't like that.
That's it.
It is what it is. Again, obviously losing Val sucks, and it does not help the Avs in any way, shape, or form. But, I mean, they come out and played some of the worst hockey they've played in a while. Is what it is. $10 from WB, who says, better hear that Mikko has been hurt. Otherwise, management should have doubts about another deal. Terrible play. Terrible. Looked like a 50-year-old beer leaguer on back check.
At times, it's
I
true.
mean,
I think you can have a lot of problems with Mikko, but just not even trying to hold on to a 100-point player is insanity.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the idea that the Avs would move on from that guy is at the moment not realistic.
Yep. 5 more from WB, who says Bednar made no real changes to get Druin with Mac and Lesson. First of all, Druin played on the top line plenty in this game.
Yeah.
That is a problem. The team lacks real leadership, and tonight is the result. And as we said earlier in the period, or in this show, you don't have to like it, but the reality is every team lives and dies with their superstars. Right now, they're dying with their superstars, but you have to. If you don't let them do it, no one will.
Well, the one superstar that the Stars have is Miro Heiskanen. And look at him.
Got a point in every game in this series.
Look at him.
Yeah.
He has outclassed Cale Makar in every way in the series.
Yep.
You talk about the depth and all the other guys and all that other shit. Yeah, sure. But Miro Heiskanen's the one guy on that team that has to be there, and he's been there. Kale McCarr hasn't.
Yep.
That's all there is.
It's just pretty straightforward to me. I don't know. $5
It really is.
$5 from Mike, who says Rockies have been crap all year on a heater since the 9th. Avs are duds since the 9th. Coincidence? Space Jam and the Monstars, anyone? I can't imagine Space Jamming hockey players would make you much better at baseball.
Well, and you're going to steal hockey players' ability and put them on the worst team in baseball? What a waste.
$10 from Let's Go Avs, who says, this show is a privilege to have. We get to come here after every loss and spew our hate into the void. This sucks a lot, but all of us need to take serious chill pills. Series is not over, DNVR. Can I just say really quick, it's not the void. Like, we see all of that shit.
Yeah.
It sucks for us sometimes.
Yeah, it's not the void. We are also humans that carry some of this with us. So when people who don't come in here regularly show up and they're like, "Oh, look at those fat guys that don't know anything," like, go fuck yourselves.
Yep.
And that happens every game.
Yep.
Every game. It's not a void.
Just wanted to put that out there, but we do appreciate you. $5 from Avalanche, who says, hoping to see the team with no expectations go out and maybe it look like they're having fun for the first time and what feels like forever win a game. I mean, the Avs have to do what they have to do, right? If they don't, their season's over. So, is what it is.
Only thing I'll say, and I'm going to go back a couple games, and since the Ben hit, series hasn't been the same. And you can say all you want. Like I'm not saying to go fight someone. I'm saying to get pissed off.
Just give a shit.
That's my point. I haven't seen them get pissed off. Get pissed off. Be angry. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not a picnic in the park. It's a Stanley Cup playoffs. You got to be pissed off. You got to be angry. You got to play hard, and you got to give it your all. So, yeah, going back to that freaking hit hasn't been the same. It just hasn't. Time to turn around now and do it.
Yep.
No, get pissed off. You go do the same thing. Jamie Benn did his job. That's what he did.
Yep.
That's it. Like him or not.
Sure. Little bit of future news. Obviously, we'll talk about Val tomorrow. We said that, but we also have maybe a brighter spot on the show tomorrow.
A little whiplash on tomorrow's pod.
Yeah, it's going to be a little weird because we weren't expecting to do this show tomorrow, but here we are. We also talked to some guy named Wayne Gretzky about the Avs tomorrow. So it should be a fun part of the pod. If you want to hear what the great one has to say about some of the Avs players, which he said some pretty cool stuff. Just going to tell you right now, he said some pretty cool stuff. Tune into tomorrow's show and listen to the great one. Talk.
So different for those top end guys to produce night in and night out. How do you deal with that kind of pressure?
Do you see a little bit of shades of a potential dynasty of the modern era in this Avalanche team?
Do you think that when it's all said and done, McCarr could be in the class of all-time defensemen as a Paul Coffey?
I think any record you have in the NHL is a privilege because there's so many great teams and so many great players.
All right, the DNVR Avalanche podcast has a very special guest. Now we are joined by the great one himself, Wayne Gretzky. First of all, Wayne, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it a ton.
My pleasure.
There you go. You'll be able to see the whole thing tomorrow, so be sure to tune in. Some late super chats here. Gotta laugh with some dumb humor. Worth it if you guys rock it right in and night out. And thank you for that. And then $10 from NR, who says, hi guys, guess we'll have an extra $6.125 million for Druin next year. I'm sure it'll come up on tomorrow's show.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of that.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to get out of here for the night. We're not going to keep you too long after a game like that. So we appreciate you guys. Be nice to each other. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.